XRP holders, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is not just another update. This is the line in the sand, the moment where history shifts. The lawsuit may be over, the clouds may have lifted, but now, the real battle begins, and make no mistake, it is not going to be easy. For years the SEC chained Ripple down, limiting XRP's full potential, keeping institutions hesitant, and keeping you, the holders, in suspense. But now with clarity here, with the legal fight behind us, the stage is wide open. And yet, what lies ahead could be even bigger, even more challenging, and even more rewarding, because this fight is no longer about whether XRP can survive, it's about whether it can dominate, whether it can take the crown from outdated financial systems, whether it can replace SWIFT, whether it can capture trillions in global liquidity, whether it can reshape how money moves across the planet. And that means every single XRP holder is now stepping into a battlefield far larger than a courtroom. By the end of this video, you will understand why the lawsuit was only Chapter 1, why the battle for adoption, for liquidity, for market dominance is Chapter 2, and why your decision today as an XRP holder could be the difference between simply surviving and truly thriving in what's coming next. So buckle in, stay with me, and let's go deeper than anyone else is willing to go, because this, right here, is where the real story begins. The lawsuit ending felt like a finish line, but in truth, it was the starting gun. The race is now underway. XRP has clarity, but clarity means responsibility, clarity means competition. Clarity means the spotlight is shining brighter than ever, and with that spotlight comes the pressure to perform. Look at the price action. XRP broke free briefly, excitement surged, volume spiked, but reality set back in, resistance zones tightened, whales began moving, institutional eyes began watching, and what followed was a retracement, a settling, a pause before the storm, and this pause is not weakness, it is the setup, the coiling spring, the calm before the explosion. Holders feel it, you feel it, that tension in the charts. That sense of a massive breakout waiting, that awareness that we are sitting at the edge of a cliff, where one push can send XRP soaring beyond its old highs, or crashing down for one last brutal test of conviction. And in this moment, conviction is everything, because the lawsuit was about proving XRP was not a security, but the future is about proving XRP is the backbone of global finance, and that fight will not be won by headlines alone, it will be won by adoption, by partnerships, by real volume flowing through RippleNet, by banks, institutions, and governments choosing XRP over everything else. And make no mistake, they are watching. BlackRock is watching, Fidelity is watching, every central bank is watching. Because once the SEC shackles fell away, the excuses disappeared. Now it's pure competition. XRP must prove it can scale, it must prove it can handle trillions in liquidity, it must prove it can do what SWIFT cannot, settle instantly, cheaply, across borders, without failure, without friction, and it must prove it faster than Ethereum, faster than Solana, faster than any so-called competitor. This is where the real battle begins. The battle for adoption, the battle for liquidity, the battle for dominance in a financial world that is undergoing the greatest transformation in history. XRP holders are no longer fighting for recognition, they're fighting for their share of the future, and that means every whale move, every exchange listing, every custody deal, every ETF approval, every remittance corridor open matters more than ever, because they are the stepping stones to XRP's inevitable or impossible destiny. Look at the whale transfers just in the last weeks. Hundreds of millions of XRP moving quietly, strategically, and what does that tell us? It tells us the battlefield is shifting behind the scenes, that power players are positioning themselves, that institutions are not waiting, they are moving, and when the dust clears, retail holders will either be rewarded for their patience or left staring at charts wondering what happened. And here is where the urgency lies. XRP is not just another coin anymore, it has clarity, it has legal recognition, and that makes it a prime candidate for integration into ETFs, into cross-border liquidity pools, into central bank systems, and with that comes the tidal wave, the one every XRP holder has been waiting for. But tidal waves are double-edged, they lift those prepared, and they drown those unready. The real battle is not for Ripple alone, it is for you, the holder. Will you hold through the resistance levels? Will you endure the volatility? Will you resist the fear when whales shake the market? Will you claim your piece of the future when XRP finally surges to reclaim its rightful place among the giants? This is the challenge, this is the war, and the question is, are you ready? Are you prepared for what's coming? Because if you are, you will not just witness history, you will profit from it, and if you are not, the opportunity of a lifetime will slip away. And that is why I'm telling you right now, XRP holders, the lawsuit was the easy part, the real battle starts now, and it's time to see who truly believes, who truly understands, who truly has the conviction to stand firm as this storm builds into the greatest financial shift of our lifetimes. The truth is, XRP holders, what lies ahead is not just another price movement, not just another headline, but the beginning of a seismic shift, and that shift is already in motion, behind the scenes. Far beyond the charts most people stare at daily. Look at what's unfolding. The SEC may have dropped their case, the courts may have given clarity, but the system, the traditional finance world, the BlackRocks, the JP Morgans, the global central banks, they are not blind, they are watching, they are preparing, and while retail holders celebrate, institutions are positioning, slowly, methodically, with precision that only the giants of finance can move with. XRP is now in their crosshairs, and that means you are holding an asset no longer in the shadows, no longer ignored, no longer dismissed. This is an asset now recognized as legal, legitimate, usable, scalable, and that shift places a target on it, a target that every competitor wants to hit, and a spotlight that every regulator wants to control. This is why the battle has just begun, because adoption is not a given, it is earned, it is fought for, it is built step by step, corridor by corridor, partnership by partnership, liquidity pool by liquidity pool, and every step XRP takes will be met with resistance, with doubt, with attacks from media, from skeptics, from competitors desperate to slow its rise. Look at the charts. Resistance levels are not just numbers, they are psychological walls. $3, $5, $10. These levels are more than math, they are battlegrounds where whales push and pull, where market makers test conviction, where fear collides with belief, and where holders decide if they are strong enough to endure. Right now, XRP has flirted with $3, pulled back, tested the waters, and every rejection, every dip, every retracement shakes weak hands, removes the uncertain, clears the path for the determined. This is not weakness, this is preparation. It is the purging process every bull run requires, and if you have been in crypto long enough, you know, the hardest tests come right before the greatest breakouts. But what makes this different, what makes XRP unique, is that unlike speculative coins that rely only on hype, XRP has real use cases. XRP has corridors live today, XRP has banks using it, institutions building with it, real money flowing through its rails, and that foundation is what sets it apart. It is not a dream waiting to be realized, it is a system already operational, simply waiting for the volume to explode. Think about this, Ripple is working with banks in Asia, in Europe, in Latin America, remittance corridors are already active, billions are moving. And that's without the tidal wave of institutional liquidity that regulatory clarity will unleash. Imagine what happens when banks no longer fear the SEC, when funds no longer hesitate, when governments recognize XRP's potential. That's when the real flow begins. That's when numbers that seem impossible today become reality. But here's the truth. This flow will not come all at once, it will come in waves. And each wave will test the conviction of holders. Because whales will sell into pumps, news cycles will fuel fear, regulators will stir uncertainty, competitors will spread doubt, and only those who understand the bigger picture will survive the storm. XRP holders, you are not just investors, you are pioneers, you are standing on the edge of a transformation so massive it makes the dot-com boom look small. This is about money itself, how it moves, how it settles, how it connects the world, and if Ripple succeeds, if XRP becomes the bridge asset it is designed to be, then you are holding the very rails of the next financial system in your hands. But nothing great comes easy, and the path from here to global adoption is filled with challenges, technical challenges like scalability and liquidity management, regulatory challenges like global frameworks and taxation, competitive challenges from stablecoins, from central bank digital currencies, from Ethereum and Solana trying to grab XRP's spotlight, and market challenges with volatility, speculation, and manipulation at every turn. The question is not if these challenges will come. The question is, will you be ready? Will you understand that volatility is not failure, that retracement is not collapse, that delay is not denial? Will you see through the noise and hold on to the signal that Ripple is still building, still expanding, still signing deals, still onboarding banks, still preparing for the flood of liquidity that will inevitably come?